There is a quiet truth about wealth. One you discover not when you make your first million, but when you're tasked to protect the second 100 million. Wealth attracts. It draws opportunity, but also scrutiny, tax, litigation, and bureaucracy. So those who preserve it, those who build dynasty, not just fortunes, understand that growth is only half the game. The other half is protection. Not reactive, not evasive, but legal, strategic, global. This is the new legacy. And in a world where every transaction is transparent and visible, your structure must be invisible, but unshakable. I am Philippe A. Welcome to Global Mastery, where we share what we have discovered on our investor immigration journey, so you can find your way with confidence. If wealth is a kingdom, the structure is your fortress. And the first principle is, control does not need to equal ownership. There is a reason why the world's wealthiest usually do not hold their assets in their personal names. They use irrevocable trust, separating legal ownership from beneficiaries. Foundations in countries like Liechtenstein or Panama or Samoa for charitable, dynastic, and multi-generational planning. Limited liability partnerships, holding companies, international business companies, and multi-layered entities to buffer liability. Private trust companies for greater governance and continuity, insurance wrappers, a package of assets inside tax-deferred vehicles. The brilliance of these structures lies in their design. They shift liability, they clarify succession, they reduce tax, and they withstand court scrutiny when crafted properly. A trust is not simply a legal document. It's a decision to disappear from the radar while retaining full control and influence. Next comes the choice of the jurisdictions. And here we move from protection to precision. Because where your structure is registered, where your bank account is held, where your trust is domiciled, where you're a citizen, and where your entity is taxed, can mean the difference between visibility and invisibility. In the old world, secrecy jurisdictions were failing, but that era is gone. Today, we seek rule of law jurisdictions, not where just secrecy is promised, but where rights are protected, where contracts can be enforced, and overreach is limited. Some of the most trusted names are Switzerland, Singapore, stable, regulated, pro-wealth. Also Liechtenstein in Europe with centuries of refined trust and foundation laws. Then the UAE with Dubai, a rising low-tax jurisdiction, pro-business with no personal income tax. The Caymans, the BVI, the Marshall Islands, offering flexibility and privacy within a regulated framework, especially for international business companies. Then Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Vanuatu, CBI jurisdiction that offer citizenship in countries with territorial taxation. All these jurisdictions that we talk about each have their unique benefits depending on the asset class. The wise don't ask which is the best. They ask which is best for this asset class, this structure, for this risk profile. It's not one size fits all game. It's a jurisdictional chessboard game. Then came CRS, the Common Reporting Standard, a global data exchange system that links banks to tax authorities, countries to countries, and you to everyone. Over 100 nations now participate in CRS. And if your setup is not properly structured, you already may be reported. CRS collects and exchanges account balances, interests, and dividends, proceeds from financial assets, control of companies and trust, and it does so automatically, often without your knowledge. This is not the time for secrecy. It's the time for intelligent compliance. Some countries, like the USA, are not part of CRS, using their own FATCA system. Other countries have more limited reporting scopes. But remember, CRS does not punish legal structures. It punishes the lazy ones. You have to make sure you have the right tax residency. And you have to know where the reporting goes to, so you can remain both compliant and protected. Where you live or claim to live determines what you own. Residency is no longer about convenience only. It's about sovereignty. Some residencies offer sanctuary. UAE, zero income tax, zero capital gains tax, but no road to PR or citizenship. Panama, territorial taxation, cost efficient. Permanent residence, yes, but very difficult to get citizenship. Uruguay, Paraguay, these are rising stars for high net worth individual and nomads. They blend the lifestyle with security and again, territorial tax and road to citizenship. Monaco, very prestigious, totally tax-free in Europe, but exclusive, expensive, and no road to citizenship. East Caribbean countries, St. Kitts and Nevis, no tax at all. Antigua and Barbuda, no personal income tax. St. Lucia, Grenada, all with territorial tax only, and all offer direct citizenship. So they are discrete, and you can say almost tax neutral. Others, maybe politically strong, have a legacy brand, but they are fiscal traps. USA, global income tax, citizenship-based taxation, the worst of the worst. UK, aggressive HMRC oversight, non-dom status abolished, not the place to go. People are leaving. Australia, high tax and global enforcement. Canada, similar to Australia, full scope reporting obligation, high tax. To protect your wealth, you may need to rethink where you are a resident, and in some cases, even where you are a citizen. Residency and citizenship is leverage, and in the right hands, it can become a shield. Wealth is not just protection against loss. It is a blueprint for legacy. That's why the world's most enduring families think in 100-year plans. They don't just buy assets, they institutionalize them. They set up family constitutions. They educate their heirs, not just in finance, but in values. They embed philanthropy into their trusts and family foundations. They use dynamic structures that legally persist beyond generations. This is where asset protection becomes wealth strategy, and wealth becomes impact. So, what does it mean to protect your wealth today? It means you play the long game. It means you move before the threat arrives. It means you see borders not as walls, but as tools. You don't need to hide, you need to design. And once you do, you'll find that real power lies not in how much you have, but in how well it's protected. Once again, I am Philippe A. Thank you for watching Global Mastery, your compass to global success. Until next time.